Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin collectors. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Australian coinage, where everyday change can hide jaw-dropping treasures. If you've ever held a 50-cent coin and thought it was just spare change, think again. Some of these seemingly ordinary coins could actually be worth a fortune. Whether you're new to collecting or a seasoned pro, today's episode will blow your mind as we uncover the top 4 most valuable and expensive 50-cent Australian coins, each from different years, each with its own rare twist, and each capable of transforming your wallet into a gold mine. Let's get started. First up, in the vast world of coin collecting, there are certain pieces that emerge from obscurity to become potential life-changing treasures. Among these silent giants lies the 1978 Australian 50-cent coin, a coin often overlooked by the average person but rapidly gaining legendary status in numismatic circles. Particularly fascinating are those rare coins that have developed a black shade or patina, a naturally occurring condition that, when paired with minimal wear and sharp design clarity, transforms this common coin into a collector's dream and possibly a millionaire's reward. Let's dive deep into the full story, design specifications, and explosive market value of this Australian marvel that could be hiding in your old coin jar. The 1978 Australian 50-cent coin is part of the country's second decimal coinage series, issued after Australia transitioned to decimal currency in 1966. This coin was struck from copper-nickel alloy, giving it a silvery appearance at minting. However, due to age and environmental factors, a select number of these coins have oxidized or tarnished to develop a distinctive black or dark-toned hue, a naturally aged coloration that is now seen as aesthetic gold in the collector's world. While the regular coin in circulated condition may not raise eyebrows, one that features this unique shade, along with full detail and minimal scratches, instantly commands high premium value in auctions and private sales. Design-wise, the 1978 50-cent coin boasts some of Australia's most iconic and patriotic imagery. On the reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin, the same master craftsman behind several other Australian coins, we see the intricate Australian coat of arms. Flanking a central shield are the nation's symbolic animals, the kangaroo and the emu, each rendered with incredible detail. The shield itself contains symbols of the 6 original states of the Commonwealth of Australia, framed by a wreath and topped with the crown. The reverse is a bold statement of sovereignty and unity, and in high-grade black shade condition, this side takes on an almost regal, aged metal look that visually amplifies its historical power. Turning to the obverse, the 1978 coin features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, graceful, regal, and unmistakably 1970s, became a symbol of the Australian Commonwealth and was used until the early 1980s. The blackened tone on some rare coins enhances the silhouette of the Queen, bringing out even finer features like the tiara, hair texture, and facial structure, lending the coin an almost antique, museum-quality feel. This tonal shift, when naturally developed, is not damage, it's desirable. Let's talk specifications, which remain consistent across standard strikes. Denomination, 50 cents. Composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Mass, 15.55 grams. Diameter, 31.65 millimeters. Thickness, 2.50 millimeters. Edge milled. Mint, Royal Australian Mint, Canberra. Mintage, 25.06 million. Though the mintage may sound high, only a tiny fraction of these coins still exist in top-grade condition. Fewer still exhibit the unique black-toned patina while retaining detailed luster and uncirculated sharpness, making these versions ultra-rare and highly desirable among serious collectors and elite investors alike. Now to the all-important market value and demand. As of 2025, the coin's standard version in average circulated condition sells for around $3 to $7 AUD. However, the black shade coins, especially those with sharp definition, no scratches, and deep, natural toning, have been spotted in private auctions and collector forums fetching upwards of $500 to $3,000 AUD. Some specimen-grade black-tone versions have even been valued at over 10,000 Australian dollars, especially when certified by grading services such as PCGS or NGC with high ratings, MS 65 or above. Add historical appeal, limited surviving population, and visual uniqueness, and you've got the ingredients for millionaire-level escalation in a booming rare coin market. What's fueling the frenzy? One word: demand. The numismatic market is exploding globally as investors, collectors, and even celebrities seek hard assets that carry beauty, history, and exclusivity. Australian coins, particularly from the 1966 to 1980 period, are now seen as modern-era investment pieces. The Blackshade 1978 50-cent coin has quickly climbed ranks, being praised for its hauntingly beautiful finish, strong national symbolism, and potential for enormous ROI, return on investment. Social media and YouTube videos showcasing these finds have only added fuel to the fire. To identify one of these millionaire-making coins, examine your 1978 50-cent pieces under natural light or with a loupe. A coin with full detail, no corrosion, clear milled edges, and that mysterious dark to black coloration could be your golden ticket. If you suspect your coin is rare, get it graded. Grading institutions don't just confirm condition, they legitimize rarity and can elevate your coin's price into life-changing territory. So, should you spend or save your 1978 50-cent coin? If it carries that elegant black shade, perfect details, and looks like something that belongs in a collector's vault, hold on to it tightly. You might just be cradling one of the most underrated treasures in Australian coin history. Final word: this isn't just pocket change. It's a silent legend. A coin minted nearly 50 years ago, now quietly commanding attention across the globe. Whether you're a collector, investor, or simply someone who loves history, the Blacktone 1978 Australian 50-cent coin is one to watch. And if you're lucky enough to own one, it might just transform your financial future forever. Next up, in the quiet corners of your coin jar or the forgotten folds of your wallet, you might be holding onto a piece of hidden fortune. A coin minted over 4 decades ago that collectors are now eyeing with rising excitement. The 1980 Australian 50-cent coin, especially when found in very fine condition, has ignited a buzz in numismatic circles. Why? Because not all coins are created equal. Some, like this specific edition, have aged into unexpected rarity, packing historical depth, design brilliance, and market potential that could quite literally change lives. Welcome to the world of Australia's silent millionaire maker, an unassuming half-dollar coin from 1980 that just might rewrite your future. Struck by the Royal Australian Mint, the 1980 50-cent coin was issued as part of Australia's decimal currency evolution. But as time has marched on, certain editions have outshined their peers due to unique conditions, minting quirks, and preservation quality. While the coin in its average circulated form may seem common, those preserved in very fine or higher condition, boasting original color, crisp relief, and smooth surfaces, are increasingly being recognized for their collectability and value. These aren't just coins, they are time capsules, and in some rare instances, hidden treasures worth thousands. Let's take a closer look at the design that elevates this coin to icon status. The reverse, created by legendary designer Stuart Devlin, showcases the Australian coat of arms in intricate relief. At the heart of the coin is a shield divided into 6 segments, each representing the 6 founding states of the Australian Federation. Framing the shield are Australia's 2 most distinctive and symbolic creatures, the kangaroo and the emu. These are not just national animals, but emblems of progress and resilience, known for their inability to move backward. Together, they represent a nation always pushing forward. Around the entire reverse is the 12-sided border, a dodecagon shape unique to the 50-cent coin, giving it its unmistakable character and tactile appeal. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by the obverse featuring the Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This classical depiction of the Queen with a tiara is framed by the inscription, Elizabeth II, Australia, 1980. In very fine condition, her facial features, hair texture, and tiara details remain sharp and defined. The patina may vary. Some coins show a soft silvery tone, while others exhibit a light age blush that enhances its visual richness. Either way, the 1980 coin, when preserved well, is a gorgeous blend of imperial elegance and Australian pride. Here are the official specifications of the 1980 50-cent coin. Country, Australia. Denomination, 50 cents. Year, 1980. Metal composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 15.55 grams. Diameter, 31.65 millimeters. Thickness, 2.50 millimeters. Edge, milled reeded. Shape, dodecagon, 12-sided. Mintage, approximately 19.8 million. Despite a healthy mintage number, time has not been kind to many of these coins. Millions have been lost, melted, scratched, or tarnished. Finding one today in very fine condition with all design elements intact is a rare accomplishment, and one that commands attention and dollars in the current collector's market. So, how much could your 1980 Australian 50-cent coin be worth? Here's where things get exciting. In circulated condition, these coins typically sell for $1 to $5 AUD. But when graded very fine to extremely fine, with minimal surface damage, intact edge reading, and visible detail on both sides, the value can skyrocket. Coins in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition, especially those with strong strikes and original luster, are currently fetching between $50 to 350 Australian dollars, with even higher valuations in certified slabbed form. And here's the twist. Coins with mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets from 1980, have sold for up to 5,000 Australian dollars in niche collector markets and online auctions. The demand for Australian 50-cent coins from the 1970s and 1980s is on a steep rise. As the generation that grew up with these coins enters the peak of its collecting years, nostalgia meets investment and interest explodes. The 1980 edition stands out because of its transitional context. It marked the end of one era and the beginning of another in Australia's modern numismatic history. Add to that the increasing popularity of very fine specimens with brilliant visual clarity, and you've got a coin that's not only valuable, but destined to keep rising. Investors are turning their attention to tangible assets, and collectible coins are fast becoming the next gold rush. The 1980 50-cent coin, especially those preserved with care, is now recognized as a potential investment-grade asset. Collectors want them. Auction houses feature them. And grading companies like PCGS and NGC are receiving more and more submissions each year for this particular year and denomination. It's not just a collector's favorite. It's becoming a mainstream market mover. So how do you know if your 1980 50-cent coin could make you rich? Examine it closely. Look for sharp detailing, clear date stamps, well-defined animals and crown, and an overall clean surface. If it shows signs of natural age but retains its visual brilliance, you may be in possession of a sleeper treasure. And if you spot a flaw that seems unusual, like a misstrike or die crack, stop everything and get it authenticated. You could be looking at a 5-figure error coin. The secret to building wealth through coins is knowledge, patience, and timing. The 1980 Australian 50-cent coin sits in a unique space, old enough to be rare, but young enough to still be discovered in circulation. It carries history, artistry, and rising scarcity. And those preserved in very fine condition, they might just be the lottery ticket you never knew you had. Final word. Dig through those drawers, check your old wallets, and open your childhood coin collection. That 1980 50-cent piece might not just be a relic of the past. It could be a passport to your future fortune. Don't spend it blindly. Study it. Treasure it. And who knows? You might just be holding on to Australia's next million-dollar mystery. Next up. Hidden in the folds of time and tucked inside old drawers, a seemingly ordinary 1984 Australian 50-cent coin could be your unexpected ticket to fortune. With its majestic design, national symbolism, and increasing rarity in very fine condition, this coin is no longer just loose change. It's become a treasure hunt centerpiece in the numismatic world. As demand for vintage Australian coinage surges globally, collectors are turning their attention to coins from the 1980s, and the 1984 edition stands out. Some rare examples have even been quietly selling for thousands of dollars in high-end auctions. Could one of these be hiding in your collection? Let's uncover the full story of this stunning coin that just might make you a millionaire. The 1984 50-cent coin emerged during a pivotal time in Australian currency history. Issued by the Royal Australian Mint, It was part of the nation's second decimal coin series, introduced post-1966. This particular coin carries no commemorative theme, yet its importance lies in its enduring design, substantial build, and increasingly rare condition. Coins like this have become investment-grade collectibles, especially when kept in very fine condition, which preserves the sharp details, edge definition, and subtle luster that collectors crave. Let's dive into the breathtaking design that makes this coin shine. The reverse side, designed by the celebrated Australian silversmith Stuart Devlin, proudly displays the Australian coat of arms. This iconic image features a shield divided into 6 segments, each bearing a symbol of one of Australia's original states. Flanking this are the legendary kangaroo and emu, symbolic of forward motion and national unity. The finely detailed creatures are set against a background of natural light, enhanced in very fine specimens by subtle toning and metallic sheen. Encircling the reverse is the coin's 12-sided edge, a dodecagon shape that instantly sets it apart from round global coinage, giving it both a tactile and visual uniqueness that's treasured by collectors. Flip the coin, and the obverse reveals the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This regal image, with the Queen wearing a tiara, was used widely throughout the Commonwealth during this period. What sets the 1984 coin apart in very fine condition is the visibility of delicate features, the Queen's facial structure, hair texture, and the tiny gems within her crown. A gentle silver glow or light natural patina only adds to its historical character. Coins in this condition become striking miniature works of art, elevating them beyond currency into the realm of collectible masterpieces. Here are the official specifications of the 1984 Australian 50-cent coin. Country, Australia. Year of issue, 1984. Denomination, 50 cents. Metal composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 15.55 grams. Diameter, 31.65 millimeters. Thickness, 2.50 millimeters. Shape, dodecagon, 12-sided. Edge, milled reeded. Obverse designer, Arnold Machin. Reverse designer, Stuart Devlin. Mint, Royal Australian Mint. Mintage, approximate, 27.5 million. Despite the high mintage, the vast majority of these coins have been lost to circulation wear, metal damage, or melting, leaving only a small percentage surviving in very fine or higher condition, and even fewer maintaining original luster and tone. Let's now talk current market value and demand, the part that gets collectors and investors leaning in. A typical circulated 1984 50-cent coin might only fetch $1 to $3 Australian, but once you reach very fine condition, the value starts climbing sharply. Clean edges, visible crown details, and minimal surface scratches push the coin's value into the $10 to $50 Australian range. But here's where it gets interesting. If the coin is preserved near uncirculated, and especially if slabbed and graded by institutions like PCGS or NGC, its value can rise beyond $500 AUD. And what about those rare mint error coins from 1984? Examples with double strikes, clipped planchets, or misaligned dies can fetch upwards of $2,000 to $8,000 Australian, depending on severity and condition. These anomalies are extremely sought after by error collectors, with some even entering 5-figure territory at international auctions. What's driving this demand? It's a combination of history, design rarity, and condition scarcity. Australia's older decimal coins are becoming harder to find in excellent condition as time passes. The 1984 50-cent coin, although not commemorative, now stands out as a survivor of a forgotten era. Its size, weight, and unique shape give it a heft and presence that modern coins lack. Add the Queen's portrait, the historic coat of arms, and the lasting value of copper-nickel alloy, and you've got a coin that's both beautiful and valuable. Collectors across Australia and the world are snapping up these coins while they can, driving up prices and shrinking available supplies. Social media, YouTube coin channels, and online coin communities have made these discoveries go viral. It only takes one stunning specimen to spark a bidding war. And for those rare blackshade or silver brilliant coins from 1984 in perfect strike, it's no longer uncommon to see private collectors paying top-tier dollars to complete their historical collections. If you're wondering whether your coin could make you a fortune, now is the time to check. Look closely at the Queen's features, the kangaroo's fur, the feathers of the emu, and the condition of the 12-sided edge. If your 1984 50-cent coin shows minimal wear, crisp edges, and good luster, you could be holding on to a life-changing asset. Don't overlook light color variations or faint toning. These could be natural patinas that increase its value even more. The most successful coin collectors and investors aren't always those who hunt in antique stores. Sometimes, they're just the everyday people who had the curiosity to look a little closer at their pocket change. Your 1984 50-cent piece could be a hidden gem, especially in today's red-hot collectibles market. Don't spend it without knowing what it's truly worth. Final word. The 1984 Australian 50-cent coin isn't just a piece of metal. It's a potential gold mine. In very fine condition, with the right features and a little bit of luck, it could catapult you from casual coin keeper to millionaire in the making. So before you let it go for 50 cents, remember, in the world of rare coins, the smallest details hold the biggest fortunes. Next up, there's a certain thrill that comes from stumbling upon a coin that's more than just pocket change. A coin with history, character, and the potential to change your financial destiny. The 1971 Australian 50-cent coin, especially in circulated condition with its original metallic tone, is one of those rare vintage pieces hiding in plain sight. It's heavy, it's bold, and it carries with it the story of a nation in transition. Though it may seem like just another coin tossed in a drawer or jar, collectors around the globe are waking up to its significance. And if you've got one, you could be holding a silent millionaire maker. Minted during a period of evolving national identity, the 1971 Australian 50-cent coin marked just the 6th year of decimal currency production in Australia. Issued by the Royal Australian Mint, this non-commemorative edition may not shout for attention at first glance. But in the world of coin collecting, its quiet rarity, iconic design, and increasing scarcity in circulation are the very traits that are now making it a high-demand collectible. 4 coins in circulation condition, meaning they've seen use, but retain visible detail and structure. Values are steadily increasing, especially when the right conditions and features align. Let's talk about the design, because that's where the artistry and national pride really shine. On the reverse, designed by master goldsmith and silversmith Stuart Devlin, we find the timeless image of the Australian coat of arms. This includes the heraldic shield representing the 6 original states, flanked by 2 of the most symbolic animals in Australia, the kangaroo and the emu. These creatures are more than decoration. They represent a country that never looks back, only forward, since both animals are biologically incapable of walking backwards. It's a powerful message, minted in metal, reminding the holder of national strength and progress. The shield and animals are beautifully engraved, and even in circulated coins, the design often holds surprising clarity, adding to its collectible value. Now flip the coin to the obverse, where you'll find the classic Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right and wearing a tiara. This portrait was used on many coins throughout the Commonwealth during the era, but the 1971 edition carries a subtle vintage allure. In circulation condition, some wear as expected, but even with slight smoothing or surface dullness, this obverse remains regal and commanding. When the features are still discernible and edge details remain visible, the coin holds strong appeal, especially for collectors looking to complete a run of early decimal coinage in presentable, honest wear states. Here are the official specifications of the 1971 Australian 50-cent coin. Country, Australia. Year of issue, 1971. Denomination, 50 cents. Metal composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 15.55 grams. Diameter, 31.65 millimeters. Thickness, 2.50 millimeters. Shape, dodecagon, 12-sided. Edge, milled reeded. Obverse designer, Arnold Machin. Reverse designer, Stuart Devlin. Mint, Royal Australian Mint. Mintage, approximately 4.6 million. Let that mintage number sink in. Just 4.6 million, a low figure compared to the tens of millions produced in other years. This makes the 1971 coin one of the scarcer 50-cent issues from the early decimal era. And over the decades, thousands have been lost, melted down, or worn into near unrecognizability. Finding one in even decent circulated condition today is becoming tougher, and demand is only rising. Let's turn now to market value and demand. While many circulated 1971 coins trade at modest levels, usually between $5 to $15 Australian, well-preserved circulation coins can fetch $20 to $60 Australian, depending on visual sharpness, even wear, and natural toning. But when these coins carry error features, such as die cracks, clipped planchets, or off-center strikes, values can escalate dramatically, with verified error pieces fetching $200 to $1,000 Australian or more in collector markets and online auctions. And if your 1971 coin was somehow stored in excellent condition, retaining much of its original luster or a rare patina, it could command hundreds, even thousands, of dollars from the right buyer. So what's fueling the renewed collector interest in this coin? A few key reasons. Low mintage, as we've discussed. Historical nostalgia. The 1970s were formative years for modern Australia. Desire for full decimal sets. Collectors are now trying to complete runs from 1966 to the late 80s. Investment potential. As bank interest rates shrink, collectors see rare coins like the 1971 50 cent as tangible, appreciating assets. Unique design appeal. That dodecagon shape, the kangaroo and emu, and the Queen's portrait all give the coin both elegance and historical gravitas. Even in circulated condition, if your coin maintains strong visual appeal, with defined lines, clean edges, and recognizable design elements, it's still a prize. Collectors aren't just after perfect mint-state coins. They also crave those that tell a story through honest use. A circulated 1971 coin with character, contrast, and age-toned metal might be far more collectible and valuable than you think. And now, here's the golden nugget. Some rare black-toned or silver-hue 1971 50 cent coins with natural oxidation or storage toning are being snapped up for $500 to $2,000 Australian, depending on appearance and grading. Why? Because these coins are increasingly seen as early vintage art forms, representing not just money, but Australian identity. And collectors, investors, and even historians want to own a piece of that legacy. Final word. Before you spend that heavy 1971 50 cent coin, take a closer look. What you hold might not just be a scrap of metal, it might be your entry ticket to Australia's growing collectible coin boom. In circulated condition, it still holds value. In rare variants, it could be worth a small fortune. And in the right condition with the right buyer, it just might make you a millionaire.